For this problem, we have a cosine function that was transformed to get this teal function here. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is draw in the new sinusoidal axis, the new center axis. And so I'm going to look at a highest point, which is at when y is 0.5. And I'm going to look at a lowest point, which is when y is negative 3.5. And that tells me that the overall distance between the highest and lowest is 3, which tells me that the amplitude is 1.5. So I'm going to go down 1.5 units and draw in that center axis, also called the sinusoidal axis. And what this does is it'll show me my vertical shift as well as my amplitude, my vertical dilation. So I can see now that my highest point is 1.5 units above that center axis. So that gives me the vertical dilation of magnitude 1.5. What this also shows me is that this center axis is 2 units below where it used to be. And so that gives me a vertical translation, and that tells us that we're going down 2. The last thing that we noticed is something happened horizontally, because we can see a lot more waves than the original purple parent function here. And so I can tell that this wasn't a shift because this maximum point that hits the y-axis is still on the y-axis. And so that tells me that it changed the size horizontally. So I'm looking for a horizontal dilation. Normally one full cycle takes 360, but this one was done after this tick mark right here. And so each box represents 30 degrees, so that means that this cycle was 210 degrees. And so to find the factor in which it changed by, I'm going to divide that by 360 degrees. From here, we can reduce this down. You could also count the boxes. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the normal 12 boxes. So my factor, my horizontal dilation, is going to be 7/12. Now we need to write the equation in terms of cosine. So you could call the new function g of x. My vertical dilation is 1.5, so we will multiply that by the cosine function. On the inside, this horizontal dilation, remember we need to multiply by the reciprocal, so I will have 12/7. It doesn't matter for now whether or not you use x or theta. I'll go ahead and use x. And then the vertical translation is subtracted by 2, and we're going to put that on the outside. And so our function is completely written.